When Woody and I met, we were in college at the University of Kansas. I was 27 and I think he was 21. I grew up in an abusive home. I was sexually abused by a family member, so God was not part of the equation. When I gave birth to our first son, Hunter, I really wanted to give him faith, and that is when my faith journey began.
Far be from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see.
After our daughter Haley was born, we suffered 2 miscarriages. Then when we became pregnant with Hayden, we were told that he would have Down syndrome, but he was born completely healthy. And I think that really moved Woody's heart. And shortly after that, he accepted Christ as his Savior.
Through it all, it is well.
While as a small group leader for M12, I met Mariah and instantly just felt a connection with her.
When I was 7 years old, my family kind of blew up. My parents got divorced. I was also sexually abused by a family member. We kind of moved around a lot for the next couple of years up until my 7th grade year, where we settled here in Lawrenceville. I started to dance. I kind of clung to dance as a release for everything.
Her mom was a single mom, so I would do whatever I could to get Mariah to small group, and if that meant picking her up, taking her home, I would do it. And it was during those rides in the car that Mariah and I really connected. I don't know, we were just kindred spirits.
In this mountain that's in front of me, we'll be thrown into the midst of the sea. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well.
In 8th grade, a guy came into my life who was just very broken, very hurt in many of the same ways that I was. He was kind of the starting point for me walking away from Christianity, and I rejected my faith. I decided to be an atheist.
Her mother contacted me too and just said, Mariah has completely rejected God. She says she's an atheist. Will you pray? I never stopped thinking about her, loving her, just pursuing her.
My soul and trust in Him, the waves of wind, so know His name.
This past Mother's Day, we decided to go to Mount Yonah and go for a hike, and it was a great day, beautiful. The kids ran ahead of us, and we just had that time alone on the trail to just talk about the future and our dreams and our plans. And near the top, we came to this ledge, and all 3 of the kids were there, and they said, hey, you got off the trail? We were like, yeah, we know. And the trail was about chest high to Woody, and Woody asked Hayden, hey, if I get up on this ledge, does it flatten out? Will it be okay? And he's like, yeah. And so he started to climb up, and he was almost up on the ledge when his feet just slid. And Hayden and I just watched as he slid down the granite slope, trying so desperately to just get a hold of something. And he didn't. And I just saw him go over the ledge. He was unconscious, but he was still breathing. I sent Hunter, our oldest, down to meet the EMTs at the trailhead so that they knew where to come. And we held Woody for an hour or more, I don't even know how long, until the EMTs got there, and his injuries were awful. They worked on him for several hours, and I finally saw them lift him to the Life Flight helicopter, and that's when he died.
It is well with my soul.
When he died, I found out about it on Facebook. I saw the post, and it was probably one of the first sad things I'd ever seen happened to her, I knew how close they were and how great a marriage that was. So I texted her right away. I said, I love you. And I went to the celebration of life. And I was just sitting there in Hamilton Mill campus. By the end, I was trembling. Almost everyone had been talking about how wonderful Woody was and how if he'd had the chance, he would say that if his death brought someone home back to Christ, then it would all be worth it. It lingered in my mind, and my only response was that that's me. I'm the one person.
All of a sudden, here comes Mariah, just straight for me, threw her arms around my neck, and she said, I get it, I'm going to church this Sunday.
I had had my interesting journey, and it was time for me to come home and begin this new journey.
My tears of sorrow in that moment went to tears of joy, and I said, Mariah, if Woody's death means your life, then it's worth it. What I feel, you can't manufacture. I could not invent this. I am broken. I am hurt. But at the same time, I feel so much peace. It is well. I know it is because I am so loved, and I have never felt more loved and protected in my life. And it only comes from God. He is more real to me now than he has ever been in my life. I have an intimacy with him that I wouldn't trade for anything.